Chapter 3: Budget and Savings. What is budgeting? When it comes to money, budgeting is one of life's tools. It is the simplest and most effective way to manage your money. With that said, budgeting takes discipline to be successful. Budgeting will also require patience, but with time, you can make it a useful tool in your financial toolbox. 5 reasons to start a budget. Number 1. Numbers don't lie. A budget will give you a true picture of your financial position. It will help you identify how much money you are spending and what you are spending your money on. It will also help you see what you can truly afford. Unfortunately, you may also find that the truth hurts. But it is always better to know what you have before blowing a bag. Always control your money and never let your money control you. Budgeting will save you from the stress of wondering where your money went and why you don't have enough to pay your bills. It can be depressing, putting the numbers on paper, especially if you have more going out than you have coming in. Regardless, you must do this if you really want to take control of your finances and obtain financial freedom. Number 2. Keeps you focused and disciplined. Saving money takes discipline. Creating a budget will force you to focus on your financial goals. Review and update your budget weekly. This will help you avoid unnecessary spending. It will also help you identify any possible money problems in advance. If you spot any issues or fall off track, try to make adjustments so that you stay within your monthly goals. If you are working with a tight budget, it is even more important to remain disciplined. When it comes to budgeting and savings, patience plus time is the only way to reach success. Number 3. Turn expenses to income. There are only 2 ways to have more money. Make more or spend less. With budgeting, you can see what is coming in and what is going out. If you use your budget correctly, you can find ways to turn expenses to income. Every dollar you stop from going out is the same as a new dollar coming in. Try to find expenses that can be cut and turned into savings. This is one of the quickest ways to generate additional cash flow. Why do you think the first thing businesses do when they are struggling is lay people off or close underperforming stores? It's because shedding expenses will immediately impact your bottom line and increase income. Number 4. Predict the future. A budget will help you predict and plan for the future. In some ways, a budget can act as your personal business plan and a tool that can be used to accomplish your goals. If you are trying to save for your first home, a budget will tell how long it's going to take. It's simple. Say you need to save $10,000 for a down payment on a house. If you are able to save $1,000 per month, you will reach your goal in 10 months. If you can only save $100 per month, it's going to take you over 8 years. You don't have to be a fortune teller to see how a budget can predict your future. Remember, there are no shortcuts when it comes to budgeting and saving. Patience and discipline are the only ways to be successful. So do your future self a favor and start saving now. Number 5. Keeps you ready. Have you ever heard the saying, stay ready so you don't have to get ready? This is definitely a cash rule, and budgeting will make sure you are following it. Opportunities or obstacles in life often come when least expected. Make sure you are always prepared for them. Even if you don't have a specific goal, use your budget to set aside money in case something happens. There is nothing worse than missing an opportunity because you were not ready to make a move. There is also nothing worse than having an emergency and you don't have the money to fix it. Keeping a budget will ensure you are aware of your current financial position and where you will be in the future. Bonus: save your marriage. This is for those of you in a relationship. If you share your money with your spouse, partner, or family, a budget is critical. A budget can help communicate how money is being spent and who is spending what. Most importantly, creating a budget will reduce conflicts and help to resolve differences on how the money is spent. Budgeting can also promote teamwork and ensure each person is being held accountable. They say money is the one thing that can tear a relationship apart. Make sure you address it early and use a budget to communicate clearly your financial position and goals. How to create a budget and save. Number 1. Put all your cards on the table. The first step when starting a budget is to write down everything. That means write down all the money you are spending and all the money you are making. I would recommend using the prior month as an example. List out all of your expenses, starting with the biggest. This might include rent, mortgage, car payments, insurance, utilities, credit cards, student loans, and groceries. Write them all down and enter the amounts. If it's something that fluctuates month to month, like some utilities, then overestimate the amounts. Try to capture as much as you can. If you are noticing a bunch of random, one-time expenses, just add them up and put them under miscellaneous. Even though they seem like a one-time expense, do not fail to budget for them. Trust me, there will always be something to take its place. Number 2. Necessity or accessory. Once you have laid out all of your spending, it's time to prioritize your budget. To do this, look at each item in your budget and ask yourself, is this a necessity or an accessory? For example, your rent or mortgage is definitely a necessity. Your electric and water bill would also be considered necessities. In today's world, a cell phone would also be a necessity, but technically you could survive without it. Your cable bill, especially Wi-Fi, may also be a necessity, but the HBO and Stars package might be considered accessories. I understand this can be difficult. For some people, a vacation is a necessity, and to others, going out to eat is a necessity. It is really up to you how you prioritize your spending. The most important part is that at the end of each month, you have enough to cover all your expenses. With that said, if you add up all your necessities and accessories and they total more than your monthly income, stop and go back through your list. You may be forced to make some hard decisions, but one of the first steps to financial freedom is living below your means. Number 3. Prioritize and strategize. Now that you have laid out your financial picture, it's time to prioritize and strategize. To do this, you must first ask yourself, what is your goal? Having a goal will provide you the motivation, focus, and discipline needed to stick to your budget. Having a goal will also help you determine the best strategy for reaching it. Remember, there are only 2 ways to have more money. Make more or spend less. Depending on the goal you are trying to reach, it could be as simple as cutting some accessory expenses. However, if you are reaching for a larger goal, you may need to find a way to make more money. Either way, come up with a strategy that is realistic and, most importantly, a plan you can stick to. It is okay to adjust your budget as you go, but it is not okay to give up. Number 4. Pay your goals first. Once you have decided on a goal, it's important to pay your goals first. That means if your goal is to pay an extra $200 per month on your student loan, then pay it using your first check. Get it out of the way. You will save yourself the temptation of spending that money by taking care of your goals first. You can also use autopay or direct deposit to make payments or savings much easier. You should also open at least 2 accounts. One to spend from and one for saving. Whatever account you use for saving, make sure the money is not easy to access. This means no debit card is attached to it. If there is a debit card attached to it, make sure you leave the card at home and don't carry it with you. The harder you make it to spend, the easier it will be to save. Number 5. Patience and follow up. Budgeting and saving is not a get-rich-quick philosophy. However, if you stick to it, budgeting is 100% successful. With that said, you must have patience. Give yourself time to see the results. I understand this can be easier said than done, but without patience, a budget won't work. To help you stay focused, try to break up your goal. I like to break goals up into 4 quarters and pretend like it's a game. Also, make sure you are checking your progress at least monthly. It is easier to make adjustments early rather than letting them compound. Always pay your goals first and reward yourself when you reach a milestone. You will be surprised how fast the time will go, and even more surprised with the results.